Hello WIHD team. Today's demonstration is going to be focused on the reports functionality that exists within Salesforce. We will talk about some of the business questions that you may have, as well as the business key insights that you'll be able to derive from the reporting functionality in Salesforce. We'll also quickly just touch on dashboards to show how you can visually represent multiple reports or one report in different graphical components on these dashboards as another way to derive those key insights and to make those key business decisions. Before we jump into reports, we do want to give a high level of how some of that data can be collected, just as an example to preface the demo. So the first thing that I want to do is just look at the top navigation bar here. So you can see reports and dashboards at the end over here, which are going to be the key things we're focusing on. But the way that we're actually going to be collecting most of our data and which data we're actually reporting on is going to come from this tab over here called Contacts. So these tabs are what we are collecting different information on, and we're going to be focusing in on contacts. So contacts, an example of a contact would be a trainer. And if we wanted to create a new trainer, we could just press the new button at the top right, and we would fill in the general information around WIHD, as well as some of the measures, and we have the mailing address and everything at the bottom. Now, if we navigate to one of the current existing trainers, Tracy Miller, what we'll be able to see is her general contact information here. As a user, I'll come in and fill in some of the general WIHD information regarding the location, the regional information, time, language, etc. At the bottom here, there would be some type of automation that exists in the system that will fill in the number of participants as well as the evaluation information automatically so that you can report on the current participants as well as evaluations. So that's a functionality that we have in Salesforce, and this is how you would be able to collect that information. Now what we're going to do is we're actually going to move into what the reports look like. So we'll navigate to the reports tab at the top over here, and we'll see two reports. So we'll see the participants report as well as the evaluations report, and we'll touch on both of them. So I'm just going to open them in a new tab, and we'll navigate to the participants report. So this is a way for us to identify who the trainer is, some general information about the language, location, and then we want to really focus in on this participant information. So I'm just going to click the edit button at the top of this report, and this is where I'll be able to make any changes to report that need to be made. So for example, maybe I want to see more information on this report, so I can pull in that information from here. Maybe I want to add role from the contact, so I can add that directly from here, and you'll see that just appears at the end. Maybe I want to move role higher up, so I'll just pull it to where it needs to be so that I've identified that as well for the trainer. Now what we can also do is we can group the report based on specific information as well as filter the report. Maybe the business question that I have for today is which trainers are running the programs on Zoom. So in this case, I can actually apply a filter to just show me only the locations that are equal to Zoom, and I'll apply. So you have this ability to filter your report based on the information that you require. For today's case, I won't be doing that, so I'll just delete that there, and we're just going to move back to the outline. Another functionality that exists within the reporting functionality is creating summary formulas. So maybe something that I want to record is the percentage of parents that are participants. So what I can do is actually create a formula, and I will navigate to this pop-up window right here, and I'll do percent of parent participants. So that's the column or the information I'm looking for. I want it to be in percent format, and I'm basically just going to look for the total number of parents summed divided by the participants summed, which is just right here. I'm going to validate if that formula is correct, it's valid, and then I'll apply it. So now I'll be able to see at the end of this report that there is 25% of the participants for the program that Kyle's training on is equal to 25%. So from here, what we'll do is we'll actually move into the evaluations. And I just generally, again, same functionality that you'll see, but something that I want to focus on here is on this evaluation information. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to click the add chart button. So you actually have the ability to add charts directly onto a report. So if I click on this gear icon over here, I can show this information in multiple ways and find which way suits the business case the best. I can change the chart titles here, as well as figure out what the Y and X axis are going to be. So in this case, maybe I want to look at sum of evaluation collected. Maybe I want to see the sum of participants highly satisfied. Maybe I want to see multiple measures directly on one graph. So in this case, I can actually add a couple different measures and compare them based on the information that I have. So I can see the sum of participants that are highly satisfied, the ones that are somewhat satisfied, and if there's anybody that is unsatisfied directly from here. So from here, what we'll do is we'll just go over high level what dashboards look like. So I'm just going to navigate back to here where we'll go to the dashboards tab. And this is just an example of how those different reports can be represented in different formats, all on one page. So over here, what I can see is the information on participants as well as on evaluation. So I can see the participants per trainer. I can see how many parents, professionals, or other participants there are based on each trainer at the bottom over here. On the furthest right hand side, I can see the same type of information for evaluation. So I can see the evaluations collected per trainer, and I can see that Jane has the highest number of evaluations collected. And I can also see what participant sentiment is. So I can see that for every single one of my trainers, the sum of participants are highly satisfied is significantly higher for most of the trainers, and only a few of them are somewhat satisfied or unsatisfied. There's very few individuals. Now I just want to quickly talk about the middle components that we have here, these gauges. So this is a really good way to identify what your KPIs are or what your goals are and where you are currently. So an example here is for the total participants, maybe the goal for this quarter is 100, but you're at 80 right now. So this might be something that you want to look into and make a key business decision on. Same thing with evaluations collected. Maybe the evaluations, not enough are coming in based on the number of participants that you actually have. So this might be an area of focus for the business. So this covers generally some of the general functionality that exists in reports and how you can actually visually represent those reports.